Interesting. However, I've configured this is making it so the first thing that's happening here is Google Chrome not responding. I mean, there's other ways to draw if I'm determined to draw, but I've done something. That's the only explanation there. I've done something that's not quite making it right. Have you come in with the pronouncement of eagle? Hello to you, and the meaty eagle. Sometimes, whoa, okay. Hello to the silly guy saying, quick people, do I stay in draw or do I lock in and do my schoolwork? I mean, were you about to walk in? Was it the, to walk in? I'm sorry, to lock in. Was it the critical moment? Because if it was the critical moment, then you can get like an hour, a half hour of the good focus, and then so you were kidding. I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for you whatever happens. But you were kidding. Okay. Hello to Cosmozoan. Hello to Doomzilla. You're killing me with the drop the link talk. I swear you're gonna find the description one of these days, and you're gonna see it was really easy to access, really easy to find. It completely makes sense, dare I say. Alright, this is unfrozen for me, and so it should all be good. And hello, what part of Thursday would you say that you're at right now? Are you implanting, imposing, instigating a very tiny sort of person? Just a clock arriving at any station. The way you've said it makes me feel like it's from something. What do you mean you're in school? What do you mean we're catching somebody on fire? There's academic mayhem going on. I don't know what to make of any of this. Can I teach you something real quick? Can I teach you that the famous book on how to talk to people is like 100 years old at this point? It's the primary advice within the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. This is the biggest hell yeah I've ever seen. The main lesson in there is to ask your mom to help you get out of things. It's really in there. I can point to the page if you wanted me to point to the page, but that's the wisdom of today, the advice of today. That 100-year-old books want you to ask your mom to get out of things. Alright, let's draw a little bit of a rectangle for this. There's River appearing to say your server is now SNES server. Hi Jaro, I'm not supposed to be awake right now, but at last I must remind you of a name. A little smiley face is happening. A little bit over, a little bit out. You know, one of my assignments for this week is an exercise in just like figuring out. It's just like writing instructions for something. That's the exercise. Okay, let's do an even better rectangle. Even better rectangle is happening. And it's how to use a technology or something. And I thought it was going to be about the mobile app that I'm always on, but instead I think it could be about this. Hello to Zero Makiba, saying, I wish we all hugged in the cosmos like J-Vic. Oh yeah. It's a mood. It's a time. I must remember the name Mr. Weeble. It's from something. It's in somewhere. It's part of my brain somehow. Alright, let's correct this a little bit later. It's in my brain somehow. But I'm gonna call a friend to tell me what this one is. Please. The bird that can't stop saying a wibble. I can't remember if the audio was inside my head. My server is now sounds the skeleton. There's quite a few things. There's Soji saying, what is the artist starter pack meme? I want to overthink it too. Good night to you, River. I commiserate with you on the weird things to happen to a sleep schedule. So, artist starter pack, basically, you draw yourself, as if you were in some plastic. Draw yourself as if you were in some plastic or something. And then draw your, accessories that would also happen with you. So ideally I would want to do this with slightly better measurements, but I'm vaguely excited to do whatever I may do here. I've seen some various iterations where some people put some snacks, some people put the accessories they use the most, some people put various outfits. I feel like I've given myself too much space in this rectangle. Doesn't even really need to be this much, but at the same time, it's kind of satisfying to get in here. I like this. Hello to Nico Juju saying that you are alive. Hello, glad to hear it, glad you are alive. There's formal apologies happening, and starter packs happening. I'm gonna draw myself with the little sushi, and I'm gonna make the little sushi look kind of fake, because for some reason when things are in miniature, it's very satisfying to look at them. Alright, this is maybe the amount of things that go in a starter pack, and I would line all of that up later, figure out how it all works, and then this tune specifically reminds me that I would want to shuffle what's going on here. And then there's the hat sold separately for a second made me wonder if this was going to be like a trading card kind of thing. That would be worth seeing as well. And some of these have like the little straps or something. Okay, let's put that directly in the center, even though that wouldn't totally make sense. You're tied down, you got some zip ties. There's Zero saying, I wish I was from Tennessee, so people would constantly say, I'm the only 10 they see. Mild downside, you are also from Tennessee. No offense to people from Tennessee, and by no offense, I guess I mean full offense. There's surely there's puns that can go along with places that you're at, near, or have been to. Surely there's things like that. Alright, what does the wrist look like when it's being held up? It depends. There's like a okay, I guess I intend for this to be slightly painful looking in the restraints, because you're just kind of dangling in this starter pack is what we're doing over here. And then put all the fingers together. I spent all of this morning, okay, the parts of this oh my gosh, it's replaying a song, is it? I spent all of this morning watching Max Fosh videos while I cooked some salmon in the oven, because that's one of the things that my mom has taught me to make, salmon in the oven. And then there's Cosmozone saying, trying to make a pun of a state like South Carolina just becomes a euphemism or something. Huh. Specifically having the word South in it. It's opening up the world of euphemistics. It's okay, like what rhymes there? Because down south is where I'd like to find you. South Carolina. That's not a full phrase, and so I've tripped over my feet before we can say that. And then your starter pack is finished, and it's very accurate. I do want to see. Hats sold separately, no items included. $25. Uplop man. Oh my gosh. Do I get a species name? Do I get a lore reveal? Salmon in the oven. How fancy. I ate canned salmon cold. You're near a heat source. You're near a heat source. I'm not gonna pretend that you're not near a heat source, that you could choose not to eat it cold. Salmon is good cold sometimes. The problem with the canned ones is that I have to pick out the entire spinal column. As Ermaki was saying, instead I'm from Caucasus, like a place, I'm supposed to be Caucasian, and I'm not considered to be white in my country. It's confusing. Honestly, the conflation of the term Caucasian to mean white to people who tried to get it to mean white, it's hilarious to consider, because it's a full place full of people. There's Top of Carolina comes to mind. Blah, man, makes me think of something from the Tingus Goose app. I simply must have context. Whatever's happening, I must have context. Why is everything up in here? A million notifications asking me if I have an exercise of writing instructions for something. There's something technological is my assignment specifically. So I thought I was gonna instruct people on how to play the game Polytopia, but then I realized that the way I play it, it's sort of a mental lasagna, mental sediment of habits that have piled on top of each other for upwards of 5 years now. Not very explicable to explain it the way I explain it. So maybe I would just go for this drawing program, Magma. There's Caucasian being a demonym. Absolutely, I think. Demonym. That's a different thing. Alright, what am I looking at? I'm looking at Tingus. The weird idol guy. From the look of from the images I'm seeing, the vibes. Whoa, cool. Yeah, the vibes are correct. This our good old artisanal individual, like the blob man, is always putting something with that vibe up before our eyes. Is the Ginger Brave happening? Bravery sold separately. That feels like a story. Alright, so I have to raise one arm above the other. and figure out what this is. Okay, a rough sketch has never done me wrong before. A little bit of this, a little bit of this, figuring it out, and your shoulder is like up like this. Proportionally, I'm gonna have to fix this. A lot. Alright, your head can be in the middle of whatever's going on here. Other shoulder is like somewhere over here. There's a chin in existence. Hello to Ollie Selin. Yeah, have you seen this artist starter pack meme? It started as a response to, I think, something on Instagram. I've only gotten news of it secondhand. And for a trend that started as the artist backlash to an AI meme type of thing, that wherein AI turns you into like what you would look like if you were a doll in a plastic figure in a pack. You know, maybe I'm glad to get this secondhand knowledge of it, so I can just start from the artistic side of things. That's kind of fun. Indeed, and I'm seeing some cool artists that I look up to very much. Have you seen this around? It's quite cool. I recommend it. There's asking serious questions, salmon or tuna. Salmon. I feel like, okay, I often claim to be unable to make decisions about a lot of things, and that is true. But in this case, these two things, they're very similar. And I love food, and the love drives the decision. Salmon. I mean, that doesn't mean I'm gonna say no to tuna, unless you are asking me so that you can get rid of all the tuna that may ever enter my menu. In which case I would be sad, and I would say where, I would say crying where, huh? But, okay, so there's talk of being a fishy fish, and how do I exactly want to lay this out. Maybe I should have done a stick figure first, because although I'm trying to map this thing out, and I want it to make sense, I want to make it make sense. Although I'm mapping this thing out, I don't feel as though it makes sense. Okay, stick figure happening first. Stick figure can have also a shoulder, stick figure can have a head, and then it's a stick figure, but we can, you know what, let's make the head a little bit larger than regular, and the collarbone shall go at a diagonal, I think. I made myself have more questions with that. Okay, the head is like right into the shoulder. The ribs are like this. There's like a hip bones kind of happening too. One going up, the other going the other way. Huh. Well, it's gonna be figured out. It's gonna be figured out. There's something saying. So you're saying you're gonna get rid of all the tuna that has ever existed, like past, present, and future. Like am I being roped into something? Where's my lawyer? All right, let's do something contrapposto. Actually, is the name that I think it is, or maybe just putting things on parallel. All right, so one leg can be up here, the other like that. Alright, I've definitely made some estimates that are not going great as far as proportionality, but I'm committed to the vision. I'm committed to the mission and the vision. I'm committed to both. There's Zermakiva saying it's gonna cause the tsunami. Okay, for some reason this is making me look up what I believe to be the word punani, and that's like from, so there's lyrics, and it's in the Caribbean. Alright, I guess that means what I thought it meant. Alright, so here we go, readjusting the proportions of this entire thing, because there's a way for this to work. There's a way. This is bugging me, and the incredible additions are being completed over here, and I love to see it, and it's quite amazing. All right. Okay. I guess if I like this proportions, then I could just fold up the legs a little bit. At the same time, I don't know if that's what I'm going for. I can choose between tuna and salmon in less than a millisecond, but choosing between the art that I'm currently drawing and the art that I think I should be drawing, that's going to take a million miles more. Okay. Yeah, I guess I could just reach the hand out of there. How much? Nice, I haven't drawn anything else on this layer. Alright, so your entire... Okay, that's kind of a fun take on it. If I'm holding on to the edge of the packaging, well, why not? Why not? Take away this band, and I suppose the hand can also be reconfigured if we're out of here, and then some proportionality can finally happen. Okay, I talked myself into a lot of stuff there, talked myself out of a lot of stuff there, and I think I can finally say, here's what I want to happen as far as legs, as far as everything here. Zero McHugh is saying, I'm guilty that I tried that TikTok filter. I'm gonna rehabilitate myself and join Magma for the dignity of my name, dear internet people. My goodness. Well, I shall certainly go about making some more room up in here. I can't quite tell how crowded it has gotten already, but I think at the rate that I draw things, I probably wouldn't have been able to fill in something that large. Exactly. There's collector's editions thing being sold. $100. $100. So it was a TikTok filter. That's what's going on. They called liver cancer. Watch out. Watch out for your liver. Alright, so I think I could probably move this a little more, or move this a little bit here. Kobe's saying not to question what happened. Well, I wasn't gonna question what happened, but now I have questions about what happened. Well, I guess I simply won't ask the questions about what happened. Alright, here's this greater rectangle. Oh, the questioning was invited. This greater rectangle is here. Some excellent shoes can happen. And I'm gonna figure out what all of this is. I think I've done the rib cage certainly patently wrong. A little bit of the shoulder over here. I don't have absolutely built shoulders these days. Okay, what happens in armpit stays in armpit. Okay, a little bit better rib cage instead of the roughly defined sort. Your arm goes all the way up here, and you can maybe hold on to stuff one-handed, maybe not with your fingers. Okay, I'm on the wrong layer. I'm on the wrong layer, if I may. Okay, let's keep those details, but not keep the one that goes across the other ones, and we'll go one layer down. I've made myself get the feeling of forgetting several things. I haven't forgotten anything, except maybe to ask you guys what's on your mind and what's new, but that's my regular sort of questions, and they already heard that you're in the school, and so maybe nothing else is going on. Alright, so here's this, and then I keep getting the feeling of loading slash buffering in the brain. They're saying, as usual, Zoro, taking up the biggest chunk, taking up half the canvas space. Look, okay, look, behold, dare I say, look, the times where I don't, as sometimes half the canvas space is left completely empty, and so therefore, it's my reasonable reasoning, that if I don't take it up, there's a chance that it could go completely empty. I also take this approach towards finishing other people's leftover in the fridge. And so this was kind of always my fate, if you think about it. I'm gonna finish your leftovers from inside your house, and I'm also gonna take up this space. There's silly guy saying, what's new is I'm starting to get obsessed with a character from a game I haven't played yet. Now this seems like a dangerous game. What inspires the obsession before you even go there? Someone make me play Forsaken. I've heard of it, haven't I? Now this is a haphazard way to go through life, swearing that I've heard of things. Forsaken 2015 film. Okay, it's on Roblox. And an 8v1 asymmetric horror game with a focus on old Roblox. Huh. It's looking it's looking adorable. But that's because I think that all things from Roblox are adorable because they have a deceptively smiley face. There's some spookiness to be had in there. Another Roblox game. Sarcasm said I'd stop being a little freak. The time to be a little freak in life draws short, silly guy. You must, I say with my most serious tone, be a freak. Every chance that you get, for you never know when one day you will freak your last. Okay. I'm also in the Googles, not just to look up games, but to look up climber grip, but like stock photo. Probably, I don't have any of that going on, so it's probably, it's gonna be inaccurate to start off this particular drawing pretending that you got some kind of climber ability. What do I have? Okay, here is a hand. Finish that off. Here is the arm. which character are you getting obsessed with in Forsaken? May I ask if this is the one? Because honestly, that sounds frankly somewhat incredible. Okay, that something is inspiring a level of obsession without even getting you. Okay, so what do arms look like? Wow, there's some good stock photos of all this. Okay, the hand facing that way. I'm gonna just have to look at my own arm because there's a lot of arm configurations. Okay, and your hand is like this, but it's also like all the way over or something. Okay, that's like an elbow. That is an elbow. That's like saying I created an Undertale OC. That's cool as heck. Sans his cousin. He's got impact. He screams loudly all the time. His catchphrase is shit the fuck up, Sans. Bottom text. I wasn't sold until he said bottom text. What can I say? When there's bottoms, I'm involved. Okay, he's a skeleton. He's very gay. Here we go. Perfect, it all lines up. They're saying to search up cool kid with 2 zeros, a L and a 2 D's. He's so silly and the lore makes him even sillier. I most certainly will. Oh, okay. It autofills out here. Okay, is this a pure red purchasable kill? Okay, pure red. Big grin, primary colors out here. That's okay. This is fun. This is fun indeed. And then there's what's going on here. No legs for you, guy? Oh my goodness, no legs. Is that what's happening? All right, so here is more of a sketch. It looks like the smiley face was deposited. I love to see it. There's silly guy saying, I just realized how ridiculous this looks from the outside view. But okay, wait, like how does this happen? How did you like seeing somebody's YouTube video of it? You're obsessing over a 10-year-old red ripoff of a red Lego that goes, Hey, that's a principle of character design, alright? Some of the greatest legends have been built out of primary colors. Don't begin to doubt what you can do with some primary colors. You can build an empire. You can build a legacy. Something like that. I had a picture of my own arm. I have a picture of my own arm, but it's more like my own elbow, and then part of it like juts out like this, and then here's a little bit more of arm, and then it goes kind of like this, and then okay, am I on the wrong layer again? A little bit. Some of the other stuff was on the wrong layer, and that leads to this being on the wrong layer, so you have to erase on the other layer. It looks like it's going like this, kind of. Alright, well, that's kind of interesting to look at, but I think I can I can adjust all of this. Think I'm overdue to tour the canvas a little bit. Can we paste? There's some things that I like about various drawing programs. God, where did I have this? And pasting things in the same place that I've cut them from is useful sometimes. We're gonna merge that on down. Let's tour the canvas a little bit. What goes on? What has go on? Mateo with some of the fast drawing. Everyone with some of the fast drawing. Dare I say? There's Matt Toys. Dreams not included. Emotions not included. Depression included. What can I say? There you go. Depression included. And is gone into some serious business. This is looking quite cool, dare I say. Put some stars on this arts. Shining, sparkling, powerful. There's 60 saying, why is your action figurine coming out of the package? That's cheating, shut up. Because some people had a really cool twist on it, and I've seen like a couple. I've seen like a 1 and 2 before, and so this is making me want to say that I put my own twist on it also. Rin is saying will get mentioned at the silly guy. Hey, there's some fandom coalescing. There's some people hearing about it for the first time, and by people I mean me, and and finding out what it's about. The hat, fully here. The ginger brave, the cookie, $9.99, a mere $10 for this. What is this? Hot cookie? Put some hearts on the arts in appreciation for these starter packs. There's Gobi H saying we're drawing action figures, huh? I bet I can do that. Honestly, if I'm moving it around, I don't know. Okay, what do I think of as being an action figure? The action figures have like joints and stuff. That's a thing sometimes. Yeah, I'm getting the Roblox vibes. Staring at what may happen. Staring at what's happening over here. There's Sexy asking, is Meteor character OC a Viltrumite? God, where do I look? Where do I look for all of this? This perhaps? Flaming, exploding, exploding, and is some Zero Makiva artist starter pack happening, and there's Kobe saying that your box might get in the way, you might want a movie drawn. Most interesting. Sure, I can scoot my business on over a little bit. I can scoot closer to what's going on over here. Here we go. I've been skeeted. Now there's even more room than ever. All right. Here's how it's all going so far. I think I want to adjust leg. I'm on one layer now, and I should have all the powers that go with that. There's stop staring because you had to. Why? The art is looking cool. I have erased some leg. I'm loving the style going on with the Zero Makiva artist starter pack. It's giving me the vibe of like a digital collectible sort of a thing. Alright, so what have we got? I think I'm rotating slightly. And there's some serious leg going on. I wore these pants for like a weirdly long time, and I'm gonna represent that. Wore these pants for a weirdly long time to represent that. Alright, but they're also kind of loose, so that's the shape that happens. Wore these pants for a really long time. Hello to the Mateo, not the Meteor. Oh, wait, is that what's going on? That's what's going on. The Meteor OC, the Mateo, the motor. Are you distributing several nicknames in a row? This is incorrigible. This is most outrageous. Several nicknames for one person in a row. Well, I certainly hope that the rest of our nicknames shall also be updated, I said jokingly in the no pressure kind of way, but then if you don't specify that you're just sort of getting around, is it really evident? I don't know. Alright, we're gonna be drawing specifically my brace, because I think that creates an interesting sort of character design kind of thing. I wear it. I do wear it. Alright, what line does that follow? If I need more reference images, I could just put it on. Okay, so there's some kind of a tabs. It goes like that. and other pants like this. Okay, but then the arm is seeming like really long. Is this what I intend? A 6 feet big Doomzilla. My goodness. I should certainly hope that it's like one of those things that you put in the tub and then it totally expands or something. Alright, I think I'm shrinking this arm a little bit so that all of this I can figure out what's going on here. Shrinking the arm, or at least shortening it. But then how much is too much? Here's the original length. And if I could have the tunes that happen in tip-top shape. Okay, if I close some tabs, does it get any faster for me? Hello, Leviathan. My goodness, what a late hour it must be, but hello, it's good to see ya. Anyway, saying that somebody ate your goddamn pasta with pesto sauce, try saying that 10 times fast. Who's done this to you, Leviathan? And, pesto? Both of those. Maybe? Just pesto. This is one of the last things that my dear brother happened to be having some allergy issues with. We didn't know that there was some nuts in that pasta pesto. We almost got him. Alright, a little bit of this shall happen. Da-da-da. Artist starter pack stuff happening. And you move that arm way up here. And I guess I could break the packaging or something. I don't know. I didn't really even mean to be at this height or something. I could recenter what's going on. There's some Throwback Thursdays, some classic Leviathan lines. I recognized it, but didn't want to be insensitive just in case somebody had in fact eaten your pasta. Again, is a weird explanation that just came out of my mouth, but is true. I must prepare for the possibility of such things being real. Always. But I am in fact experiencing quite the throwback. Alright, so where do I want this to be? I guess centering puts it kind of like this. Well, that's interesting, nevertheless. Well, I'm finding out some interesting things to do about character posing and designing. The Mateo, have you put a price to the figurine? Interesting big sneeze. What happens on this price of figurine? My goodness, just above $6? Dare I say US dollars? That's quite affordable. There's Sukti saying, I remember when Sukti Skull used to be in chat very often. Did I become normaler? Did I stop being cursed and edgy? Did my humor got bland? Oh, thanks for the blessings on the sneeze. You're saying the possibility is indeed there, but luckily it didn't happen this time. I had the option of using time in some cooking today. 36 joints on this action figure. My goodness, my gosh. Now that's an actionable figure. What else happens over here? Just very regular pants, I think. And something happening with a foot with the feet. Kind of, I don't know. Okay, so the thing about drawing feet is first you gotta draw them balls. Second, you gotta pull your pants back up and draw some feet. Alright, so here's the ball of the foot, the heel, just like that, and like this, and that's the general shape of the foot, but I don't really even mean to be that tall, because that begins to look very tall to me, which is not my intention. A little bit of this. There's look, it's a big sneeze if I'm sneezing it, I think. It feels like it. Alright. There's I'm being quoted on certain amounts of balls. I should put a price tag on all this. $5.99. Alright. Little bit of impression of a toe is happening. a little bit of this is happening, and that's sort of what a foot is made of. I'm gonna figure out the shoe situation later. Oh, we're getting links. There's Mickey was saying, also Jaro may have that nasty tasty egg and starter pack. The food's being drawn in just because I'm a lover of foods. Just because I'm an eater of foods. Very well. Very well. Then there's Mickey being activated. The wondering about being edgy or not edgy. And I did want to click on this. What happens here? Okay, at the beginning of the stream, I managed to make my browsers lag so much. Hello, Louis Armstrong. Managed to make this lag so much it came to a grinding halt. Alright, so I did actually get a little bit of a copyright such and such on the last stream. What? Oh, it's like from a street video. It's like from one of those many extremely do they just go on to play a little bit of tunes, a little bit of music? I love you, Louis Armstrong. I appreciate you, Louis Armstrong. It's been a minute since I saw one of these ASCII art, whatever the heck is going on there. One of those in these. Oh my god. Help him! Help him! Help! This is it. No! Somebody help him. Somebody help Mr. Armstrong. Oh my lord. Oh my lord. And sometimes apparently I say Glord instead of Lord. You know, it's all the same to me, apparently. Wow, from the zoomed out perspective, I thought the Roblox individual was wearing some kind of hellish bikini. However, that may not be the vibes. There's Leviathan saying my work here is done. Goodbye. Thanks for stopping by, Leviathan. It was good to see ya. Good to see ya, indeed. I hope you have a good, sleep, a restful sort of sleep. So your starter pack is done, you're saying? A movable jaw, 6 feet big, and the tail is included? Oh my, that's good to know. It's right over there. It's one of the fancy sorts. It's $120.99. You can't forget the 99 cents. If it were 121, you know what people would say? They would be like, that's too much. But because it's 199, it's just enough. Alright, it's looking pretty cool. It's looking pretty cool over here. I'll draw you the little lizard of appreciation. The little lizard that appreciates this artistry. Appreciating from right over here. With 2 feet and 1 great arm. The artist appreciation is never ending. What goes on in the world of starter packs, since I'm zooming all over the place? There. When I catch you what's happening, this is saying much cheaper. Nobody can compete with this. I don't know. It's 100 just for the hat in the booster pack. I don't know if you're ripping people off or if it's really worth it to have a snazzy hat. You know, at some point, I guess I would start to wonder about customizing one's own things. Ooh, something vaguely spidery with many eyes seems to be happening there. Some Caucasian question mark is happening. The art style here is reminding me of the Peanuts Charlie Brown kind of things. There's silly guy saying, as a buyer I can confirm it's worth it. Trust. My goodness, how very intimidating. Alright. In terms of things that are priced, a price is. Alright, let's get a little bit of lines put together. A little bit of this and what? Where does a shoulder go in the rest of it all? A little bit of this, I suppose. And then I guess I feel like holding up something to either eat or just sort of put there. You know, actually that'll be the pose. That will be the pose. Kobe saying that your job there is done. It's cool to see your take on things. Alright, this is kind of an artist pose. Kind of an artist pose, I think. Can I remember what I just looked into on my own thing? Okay, so here is a hand. Hands basically look like this, and kind of honestly like this. There we go. Okay, do I know what elbows are made of? I ask myself this every single time I have the opportunity to encounter an elbow, and I still haven't studied anatomy. Still have not studied anatomy. I would solve by all of my problems if I were to simply study anatomy. Okay, I think just from vibes, I think that goes downward a little bit more. No study, only vibe. No study, only vibe. That's how I've been passing my college classes, honestly. It's not advisable, and it actually quite hurts. Alright, what else goes on here? Figure out some hair, I suppose. And where I want the face to be exactly. A little bit of this, little bit of this, little bit of eyeball, or maybe a lot of eyeball. Sure, that's something. And I always say that the facial feature you cannot forget to draw is the hairline. You always gotta remember to draw the hairline. You're not exempt from drawing the hairline if you drew bangs. Goodbye to Kobe H. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for scribbling. There's an entire school day to still get through or something, isn't there? My gosh, I can't believe I've almost forgotten about these important things going on. Well, I hope that some knowledge enters your head, and then you approve of it. Yeah, that sounds great. Saying the hats are accessories. The non-action figurine is the product, and it's only 25 US cents. Did I misread it as dollars earlier? Oh my gosh, I'll have to check the footage. The camera. I'll have to see what happens there. My gosh. No joints. Just the... Okay, but since it's a blob man, is there at least a slime-like or sticky texture? Can I stick this to the ceiling, perhaps permanently? And put some hearts on that arts. Each hat booster packs are $100 US each, and you get a 1 in 3,000 chance to get a hat, versus a useless piece of plastic with no collection value. That is so sickeningly capitalistic that I'm going to buy 3 of them immediately. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing to me? Alright, here is a little bit of this happening. And I guess my hair is up right now, so I can draw the hair being up. I don't know. I've had some times. I've had some life and times of the hair being down lately, and I don't know if that's how I want it to be. I want it to be adjustable, correctable, completely delectable. No, that's a word for foods. That's a word for foods. Alright, a little bit of an ear is here. So there's some there's something cool to be said about the round face shape for all of this. 'Cause, I don't know, you don't always have to slap a pointy chin on it. You don't always. And I do in fact resist the urge to do so. Alright, so here is more of this. A bunch of these. And in fact a thumb as well, probably. I don't know. I've really put some paws up there. You're saying my hair is so NPC, you should get a mohawk. Not enough that I've gotten an undercut. Not enough that I make my hairdressers say, "Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? You're not gonna be mad at me if I cut off your hair? Are you sure you want me to cut off your hair? I'm the hairdresser, and I think you're gonna be mad." The too Normie is the accusation on the table. Very well. 5,000 mohawks for me. That's all there is to it. Alright, a little bit of this has happened as we're kind of dangling, swangling. That's what's going on. And I guess I kind of want to reflect that these are not my favorite pants, but I keep on wearing these pants because I keep on wearing 3 pants at once. So you kind of have to show a little bit of the 3 pants at once, whatever's happening with them. Alright, here's the first pants. Here's the second pants, second edition of pants. 2 of them are somewhat thick. Here's the third pants. It's only a little bit visible because that's where we end it, with a little bit of this brace happening. And that is an outfit that I am occasionally wearing that's very distinctive. It has layers like an onion. And then there's Zero McHugh saying, "Someday I'll be living in a big old city. And you all just gotta be mean. Why you wanna be so mean?" God, was this a Taylor Swift song? Or a Disney Channel one. I know it's one of those. And what goes on over here is the rainbow being kind of bisexual. Because, I mean, hey, I love the colors. And I love to see it. There's someone popped in to say, "Cool kid, my son." And Meaty popped in to say, "Cool kid, my son." Empty. That's most excellent. Alright. And I guess I go on looking for images in particular. There's somebody saying, "Serious message, no joke. Your drawing is coming out well, but the pose feels a bit stiff. It's because of the legs. I think the top pretends to be dynamic, but the bottom is like a regular figurine pose. I do kind of wonder, can we put a little bit more dangle? A little bit more dangle on it?" Well, the first thing that comes to mind is going a little bit wild. A little bit wild, but not a lot wild. And specifically using the selector tool, because I want to know if I can rotate. Huh. I mean, it starts to look a little bit fun with a mere rotation going on. Alright, you gotta do something to fix the foot as well. And if I'm doing something to fix the foot as well, then I might as well take that out of there. Just needing one more leg, a leg of help. We all need more legs, and I have many, but I won't lend you any. Oh my goodness. Has the conjoinment process gotten a little tiny bit more selective? Because here I am, under the impression that you might take anybody to add to your collective biological and technological distinctiveness, as it were. Alright, here's a little bit more of this. Go on to here. And so that's kind of a first thing. First sort of can the other leg have anything to it? We're having some straight lines up in here. Can the other leg reflect what goes on in legginess? It gets a little bit narrower, I suppose, but that's not quite the point at which it does. You start to get a little bit anatomical up in here. You start to get a little bit diabolical up in here. A little bit like that, maybe. Alright, the proportions are not quite correct, but it's something. There's capitalism happening. Capitalism is your middle name. You suck capitalism dick. It sounds poignant. It sounds commentative. Hello to hello to you. I'm doing some artist sort of trend business. I've gotten this far, and I'm being defined by the weirdest things that I've eaten. I didn't put any of this. Yeah. And yet here I am, dragged through the nets of everything. Look, all of these looked like only vaguely corpse-like and were very nice, very cool, very good, very delicious. Very delicious, I do say. There is also, I suppose, the matter of just eating fish in general. Alright, what in the world was I looking for? Looking for a reference on the pants, which are just literally behind me. The pants are just literally behind me. Are they visible right now? Huh, yeah, a little bit visible. Anyway, I've been wearing these for far too long. A strange amount of time, I want to say. And I wasn't super into the idea at first, but now it feels like something of a trademark. Alright, a little bit like this to define this band, and then it makes sense, and then it makes sense, and then it makes sense. Are you having a capitalism scare? A little bit of a capitalism scare or something. Alright, so here is... I love using reference images, but it's a double-edged sword. Alright, a little bit of this happening, and alright, do what the reference image is telling you to do. Have some maybe that's part of the reason I find it difficult to nail down a style also. Alright, let's have a little bit of this. Difficult to nail down a style because of reliance on reference images. I think this is like Santa themed pants. There's a little chocolate saying I was in the Sands live. It was fun. Hey, I thought perhaps the profile picture was looking kind of familiar. Well, here's some here's some girly poses going on. Very 2000s girl doll commercial, very fashiony, very everything. Well, hopefully once I get the clothing details filled in, we're gonna be rid of fashionability. There's some excellent starter packs happening here. Depression included. My goodness. There's some there's some characters being discovered to be gay right over here. Flaming, dare we say? I mean, it's looking like the heat is on. There's some lack of joints happening for a mere 25 cents in the various artful starter packs and Roblox involved character sketches. The obsession continues. I'm loving this. I interpreted this tool in the Zira Mekiva artist starter pack. I interpreted it as some type of pencil or brush at first, but from the pointiness, I suppose it could also be a sculpting tool, and I wouldn't quite be able to tell. Alright, so is the... What do I want to do with the pose exactly? Not quite sure yet, except for drawing on several amounts of cartoon characters onto the pants in a wintry sort of way. Alright, one cartoon character and another. I think that next week I'm gonna, but then I keep drawing things from the Monday sketch raffle on the Tuesday stream. So if I talk about what I want to draw next week just for learning how to draw it, then if I say I want to draw Frisk next week or Toriel to find out how I draw the Undertale characters in general, because I don't know, I've never drawn all of them stood next to each other, so I don't know what I would do with them in my style specifically. Alright, there's a little bit of a nose happening and a big bit of a smile. Hello to you, Hijinks Arcade. You're waking up early today. What time in the world is it happening? I'm getting 7 a.m. at the maximum on my international clock. Hello, hope you're doing all right today. Hope you're feeling okay. And if you're not feeling okay due to sleep issues, then I can commiserate with you, because for some reason I passed out for 11 or 16 hours and dreamt of drowning in a frozen lake a little bit. I was a little bit freaked out on that one. But I mean, we keep on going. 7, my international clock does not fail me. Whoa, I have all kinds of knowledge. Okay, you're being subjected to Australian themed ribbing. Well, yes. I hope it's terribly clear. There's WLW standards so high. What are the standards happening with? And there's some, okay. Okay, so like you're saying, I'm not saying the girliness like it's a bad thing. Just look at me. Are you also having the girliness in the poses? I was not so quick to pick up on it, but there can be girliness happening. There's Zermakiva saying, like, how can I become Finn Wolfhard? Did something happen in Stranger Things? Finn Wolfhard, WLW? I'm out of the loop on something, maybe many things. Okay, where's this? The boiled one appears. That does make me laugh sometimes, thinking of just an ordinary horror type thing. Okay, this is cool. I'm figuring out how to make patterned pants and how to make them well. I figure I should put that on a different layer entirely. Okay, any second now I'm going to have cohesive thoughts. This one rotates a little bit as we make some patterned pants. This is saying, from all the 1 in 3,000 hats in the booster packs, you have a 1% chance of getting a bow. That's inclusion. It gets so parody worthy. It gets so very parody worthy. Alright, I'm spinning this around, and we're gonna have some patterned pants. It's one day I think I hope to wear clothing that makes that I feel like reflects, I don't know, some kind of image that I like or am into, some kind of fun image, because the past few things that I have worn, I feel like I've just kind of ended up in them. Feel like it doesn't even say anything about me. I feel like feel like you're doing things without intentionality. And that's a mild fear of mine, I suppose. Unintentionality. There's Hijinks Arcade saying very cool character design and post. Thank you. I also wish to catch up on messages and things of interest. You're saying you have you have pants with weird blob gesture patterns. Yes. And I could get out of my chair to demonstrate this, but I do have just a picture of myself and pants on the phone. And so for people who are against getting out of chair, such as me, and who are against zooming into the pants that are still behind me, this thing is on the pants, and I get cold legs, so that's what's going into this artist starter pack kind of a thing. Artist starter pack kind of a thing. There's please display the pantaloons. I can display the creature. This is at most I've just got creature. This is, what do you mean that's Photoshop? Photoshop. It's a normal photo, a regular amount of shop. This was one of those things that was everywhere in like the late 2000s or 2010s. That's Jim Benton Happy Bunny. It's a bunny that always says something sarcastic, and I don't remember where I got those. I don't remember why I have those, but they're keeping me warm in the Arctic tundra of my own house, my own home. There's Zermike was saying most people dress neutral nowadays, even gender people, and inventors of gender like Judith Butler dresses plainly. Do I give up? Do I give up on what the swag may be, what the riz may be? Oh, hello to Kai. Kai, what has happened today? Not to be dramatic, but I'm absolutely going to be dramatic. A Hijinks Arcade has arrived before you. It is the first time, I believe. Something like that. I shall make note of an occasion, because I think it's a noteworthy occasion. There's slightly only having pants with pan pattern. The pattern of smaller pan. Hi and welcome to you, Kai. Hope you're having a good day. I hope you, I don't know, ready for a birthday, which is your birthday on Sunday? Well, I guess that's how hopes go. There's Hijinks Arcade saying, ask you on Tumblr, but is it okay to share more serious Sam songs with you? Well, now that it's in the context of stream, although it may not have been in the context before, do you think it's the sort where I could add them to the stream playlist? I'll go with yeah. Go for it. But if you send them in this here chat, then I can go putting them in the playlist. Perhaps you're saying that YouTube didn't notify me. Are we being accused of being 2000 and late as we roll in some possible songs that we can all see? You're saying all ages. So how old can the age possibly be? I'm sure it's not even that ageful. Late to the party, but I'm still partying. Now that's what we're all about. Here is... Okay. I feel like I could figure out the hand a little bit more, but... ass booty, I don't know. Okay, what else was I looking at? I do now have pictures of the brace happening. Okay, I guess the brace reduces tube-like overall affect. Let's merge this layer down as we're about all of these, and figure out what kind of shirt I'm putting into this artastic artist meme drawing. Okay, so I don't think I've ever held on to something profusely in this, but let's draw some wrinkly type of shirt, because that is frequently happening to me. Shirts be wrinkly. Ranklin such as this, and such as this. I don't know if I, okay, if I follow the reference image, would it go? Would it go there? There's Hijinks Okay saying, I was actually thinking about asking if I could add them to the playlist. This lined up nicely then. Don't know about Hero, and if a metal song would be good for a chill stream, but some of the others maybe. Okay, then I'll, I guess I'll just click on them as we go, and we'll see all of these. The Mateo has sent a drawing in art. Let's see about it. There's honoring capitalism, most interesting, and let's see what goes on. Some of the songs are more hype than others up in here. Oh, nice. I almost missed some Brina arts up in here. Some cool stuff. Hit spoiler. Do I want to know? Whoa! Whoa! You got teeth in your teeth. Honestly, a couple of my teeth, when my adult teeth were first coming in, they were coming in like that. Wow. You are the master of drawing something gnarly. Is that gonna be reflected in your series of animation that's gonna be coming out? This Party Rock is in the house tonight. Sarah like he was saying, I wish Subject's middle name would be Pixar miniseries Win or Lose, because I want to talk about it, but it's not quite a capitalism, or is it? It's having to adhere to the standards put forth by its capitalistic overlord Disney, because Pixar is owned by Disney, one could say. So it's on the topic. Have you seen have you seen an episode 2 of it, or in episodes all of it perhaps? I got to finish it a while back, and if the YouTube releases keep on building hype for it, that's really neat to me. That's really neat in my opinion. Alright, so here is, okay, what is this? And rankle the shirt, kind of like this, but also rankle from here. What else goes on? The shirt can have various amounts of bagginess happening, a little bit like this. Alright. I go by the reference images. What goes on? Nerdburp appears, talking about EA Sports. It's in the game. Is it in the game? A win is in the game in the EA Sports. Win or lose, but 7 out of 8 episodes they lose. Does it get made up for because not all of the episodes are about winning or losing? There's Nerdburp saying, gonna play Minecraft for the first time. Have you never played before? Well, the survival element can be a little bit fun. Hijinks Arcade giving us the lowdown. Don't usually like shooters, but I appreciate the silliness of the ironically named Serious Sam, and also the settings of the original game, like ancient Egypt, South America, Persia, and medieval Europe. Ooh. Wait, okay, putting those words together, am I to take this to mean that Serious Sam, shooter, is perhaps bringing a gun to ancient Egypt and medieval Europe? The game actually made me interested in settings like that and history and stuff. Oh my gosh, that's fun. That's fun stuff there. There's Subject saying, unfortunately, I don't watch shows I can't yet. You've watched Invincible. I started watching Invincible season 2 and like Tuesday night. I don't know. I just got like 3 episodes into that, so I'm not at caught up to your level of yappability, but one of the standout impressions I'm having is that, ooh, okay, in the shocking, jarring intro to the season, where we see the alternate version of Mark Iplier, and he's being evil and stuff, it's hilarious to me how naturally funny Nolan Omni-Man's way of dialogue is when he's not losing his everything. A little bit of an E is being sent. Very nice, very nice. The boiled one appeared and then boiled right on out of here. Alright. And then... Okay, I had kind of a cutie patootie pose going on. I think but I think I need to unpatoot a little bit of this. The Hijinks Arcade, I feel like I've been, vaguely more interested in like historical settings lately as well. Like probably not quite in depth very much, probably with no particular starting point or focus, but when I come across a world building channel that's like trying to go into the alternate history of what if weaving was developed a little sooner or a little differently, how would it go? Just like place some pillars of technological development at different stages to figure out what it all looks like, what a society, what a civilization is made of. I'm eating that up constantly eating that up. Alternate histories focused around crafts and the diplomacies and things. Oh, still, that's fun to get started on. Zermakiva is saying, haven't you noticed that I'm a star? Now everyone can see me banned with the Steven Universe lyrics. I often wonder how much of Steven Universe has stayed with me. There's Nerdburp saying, a picture of my dogs in Minecraft is that new drawing 3. My goodness. Oh my goodness. That's some cute dogs. Look at them. Do they have some names? Oh my goodness. How very fun. And then there's Sexy saying, I was so confused at the start of season 2 of Invincible. I thought I skipped a season or something. Unfortunately for me, I've gone in there and everything has been spoiled for me. So I was like, naturally, instantly, I was like, of course, hello. So this is what it looks like when there's alternate marks. But then I still got to experience the emotional nausea of imagining that the Mark Grayson that we got to know, that we got to love, was... He had the capacity to do that in him. The capacity to practice on protesters, as Omni-Man so succinctly put it. Everything. The silly guy is saying, on the topic of random obsessions, the goddamn Trolls franchise is slowly inching into my mind, and I fear I may be the next one. Trolls! I have seen more interest in Trolls than I would ordinarily expect. It's got a bigger fandom than I would think. The people are into it. The people know what they want. Hijinks Arcade is saying, yeah, so the story is essentially about Sam traveling back in time because the alien invasion destroyed Earth, so he looks for an ancient ship left on Earth by the Syrians to go and defeat the alien leader Mental. Straight up named Mental. Like a condition. Like a, to undoom the future, you say. And he time travels through those places while fighting the aliens who are trying to stop him. And I'm detecting a gun. There's Zero Makiva saying, you're very cutie patootie indeed in this drawing, respectfully. I've posed it up too much. There's Nerdburp being Steve, very excellent. Did you name the dogs? Nerdburp? Hijinks Arcade is saying, but the Natriska device actually tells you all about the different old places you go to, and I just really like the aesthetics of like Mayan and Egyptian temples. That's really cool. That's fun stuff. Oh my gosh. It's for some reason the next like little factoid in my head, like word association with Mayan stuff, is that due to the native speakers like still being around more or less. I think I have to lower this head. Due to the native speakers still being around. Okay, and this is probably something I would want to get to with a citation. We can know how things were supposed to be pronounced. And okay, so this is where a head goes. because when your arm is way up, you don't get neck privileges. They are revoked. So he's telling me one non-spoiler thing I can discuss and yap about is how the Invincible is like a perfect polar opposite of Steven Universe, like a parallel of Steven Universe. Really? Okay, the thing that I would think of to parallel would be like the redemption versus non-redemption stuff. And yet, at the same time, I'm not quite sure. Zermak was saying Egyptians ate because the eyeliner was so thick. Diva behavior, I feel it now. Silly guy saying, glad I'm now wise to the fact that cringe is dead. And there's nothing wrong with enjoying a little happy, silly ending with some singing and dancing, like the movies with the Trolls franchise provides. You gotta love what you love. You gotta be cringe, but you gotta be free. There's the discussion of whether we are aliens to some extraterrestrial species. Making sense indeed. Alright, so I started drawing this with the full intention of having a chin. I have intentions to have a chin. Alright, a little bit like this, a little bit like, put some lines on it. A little bit of chin is happening. Massive eyeballs are happening. There's asking what real locals are and what if Ninja got a low tipper face. I'm like Ninja the YouTuber, because for a minute there was a kick with Ninja's Ninjago. With ninjas, there's a little bit of a Lego, and the ninjas, they do what? They go. That was happening. So, you're telling me about how the music is really good. Dune's song is beautiful. And let's see it. Or listen to it specifically. Put in a little pause on these undertales. Oh, I never knew it was a 6-minute, 20 something second song. You're saying the Ninjago era isn't over yet. Oh, most excellent. Hello, a little bit of the soundtrack. What does it do? It's atmospheric for being in the desert. I'm somebody who lives in the desert. And when I go outside, it sounds exactly like this, actually. Yeah. I should build temples. Ooh, I'm going to build temples. Oh, I'm possessed to build some temples. Wow. Who want to be sacrificed? That's besides the point. But it still helps to ask. Alright, what do I want for eyeball? I started out pretty round with eyeball. And I've gotten several lines all together and happening. Please stop lagging on me. My God. Then there's... You volunteered for sacrifice. Well, okay. The awkward thing about this is that we can't quite afford a full-time hire. It's only gonna be a part-time job, which means we are taking only half of you. The other half gets sent home. You do get to pick which half. Okay, telling us how Invincible and Steven Universe are the opposites. Who the hell honking at me, baby? The mom's an alien. Okay, I'm already seeing it. You get the powers slowly. Your mom dies. It doesn't go to school and uses love to win. And then Invincible. Your dad's an alien. You get powers all of a sudden. Dad is alive. Friends have powers, and you go to school and fight. And I am kind of seeing it. You're inspiring me to wonder about some crossover fan fiction. You're inspiring me to wonder about it. There's saying the music really does add to the atmosphere as well. I'm honestly, for a while, like sometimes on road trips, my dad has been playing the Halo soundtrack. And if you send another one, I'll get it loaded up. Okay, my dad's been playing the Halo soundtrack, and then whenever we're like looking at environments, if we pass by a mountain, if we're on a scenic drive, then it really adds to it. pics up near the end too. And you're shooting stuff with a silly guy to this? I can see that there's layers to the appreciation, more than one thing on top of another thing to appreciate. Picking up this would make any mountain taste different, is a nonsensical thing to say, but it changes your experience of it. It enhances the emotions of it. You're saying my dad's a gamer. Yeah. So it's a little bit embarrassing sometimes that I haven't inherited it. I could have been a second generation gamer if I had been a little bit sharper on it. But all I've done is beat him at Tetris, and then that's all I have to my gamer name. There's talk of the Halo soundtrack. This is very lovely. This is very cool. I'm filled with temple building energy. Zeromaki is saying, all I know about Invisible is that one of the main guys is Korean, but he's not Asian looking and dumping his black girlfriend to a redhead hottie. And everyone were talking about disposable girlfriends. Yeah. Everywhere. An entire video essay got made about it, the disposable black girlfriend trope. And I think that was part of what motivated me to finish watching totally unrelated movie Mickey 17 with my family. That was a fun one. His black girlfriend is not disposable, she was super. And she's his first choice and his only choice. And I start thinking about love and I get a little bit teared up. It's I don't know, it makes me wonder if somebody were to put together a positive examples sort of counter video essay, not to say that the first trope doesn't exist, but just to say that there's hope, say that there's perspective, say that there's more out there, then maybe that would be nice and worthwhile. There's like you're saying, beating him up in that bootleg, copy paste of Tetris. I don't know. All I know is that there was an ending, and I made it to the ending, and he was like, "Wow, daughter, I am proud of you." And then I ascended, and then I never played a video game again. I don't know. There's Kai saying, where are the disposable boyfriends? Danny Phantom with the disposable black girlfriend trope. Oh my god. I was gonna... I had hoped to watch Danny Phantom at some point in time, and I had seen people shipping him with... I don't know names. Goth Batty is... I should watch shows so I know names. Anyway, shipping him like that, so I guess that would have clued me into what is or is not the endgame sort of ship, but... it's disheartening. It's disheartening. Silly guy is saying it's me, I'm the disposable warfare. We did sacrifice half of you on an altar. Or prepare to... This does seem a little bit disposable, or a little bit horrorcore. Alright, there's saying, I don't think a girlfriend was disposable. It was to portray due to how due to his nature, a relationship with a regular human wouldn't work. To me, it felt really natural, not forced, but it might just be me. The thing that breaks my heart the most about Invincible and Amber specifically is that... okay, maybe the execution. God, I'm going through this asking myself if the fun little video essay that I saw on it went over such things. It just pains me beyond belief that in order to show that it didn't work, they race swapped the character into a role that viewers unfamiliar with the comic would find annoying, and so the core of my exhaustion with this is just Reddit's reaction to it, basically, just all of Reddit's reaction to it. They got such a disturbing amount of vitriol for Amber. I can't go into the Invincible subreddit without saying, I'm the only smart person to have watched Invincible ever. Everyone else was stupid. Everyone else didn't get it. Everyone else does not know how to view a fictional character without being 2 seconds away from saying slurs. Holy God, what were you up to? Reddit, my God. It's so the real life reaction of people, of audiences, is definitely at the core of pain that I have when I think of Invincible and Amber reaction. And it's just because like the narrative utility of a character is there, of a human being there, and yet this sickening perfect storm of hatred also coalesced around this character, and it's hard to think about it without, starting to cry. And do we have Courtyards of Gilgamesh over here? Let's click on some stuff. Kai saying Sam was the end game. Yes, but he did have a girlfriend before that. Shakes fist at the air. Butch Hartman, you'll pay. Every time I hear something about Butch Hartman, it seems like he has to pay. There's some Sands, there's some Persia part of the game. Let's pause on some Hotline Miami. Let's see what is up. Get some pause on that. Get some... Hijinks IK say, didn't Severance also have a disposable black girlfriend? It really is a trend. The thing that I will say about that, the disposability still takes all of the energy out of me, takes the pep out of my step. In Severance, at least I didn't see anyone being annoyed at her. God, the bar is in hell. I didn't see the audience being annoyed at in that case. Oh God, hurts to acknowledge when the bar is in hell. Okay, I didn't see anyone being annoyed because Mark specifically is such a hideous train wreck of a character. God, he's such that no one can look at her leaving and say, "Whoa, what is her problem?" No one asks what her problem is because it's clear that she is not the problem. So that's an appreciative thing I say when the bar is in hell, but the element of disposability is still there, still within there. It doesn't feel good to witness. It doesn't set a trend of saying, why can't you just be the first choice? Is there enough media where you end up as the first choice? What is it made of? What can happen there? So there's Kai saying, I don't think I'll ever watch Invincible mainly because of that and how everyone treats Amber. Nerdburp with the AFKs, Zara McKeeva with the disposable girlfriends are like Alpine Mom never to stay for a long time. I don't know if I read the word anime moms, there we go, because I was like, albino mothers. It's a whole trend. They're leaving you. Your albino mother is going to leave you right now. Okay, so anime moms, Disney moms, where once you notice the tropes of disposability, does it ever set down? So yeah, I wish that the audience reaction did not cause me pain because there's serious storytelling things to be looked at and analyzed and appreciated, and then I check on the fandom sometimes, and I look at the fandom and I ask who didn't wipe their ass. Because the way you're all yelling at each other, the way you're all getting your panties in a twist makes me think you didn't wipe your ass. Alright, so there's talk of Sands, there's silly guy saying my friends keep trying to get me to watch Invincible. Unfortunately, I have a great many tasks to complete beforehand. Sometimes also I try to watch Invincible while eating, and I keep forgetting that everyone's guts is everywhere. I'm appreciating what's going on in the storytelling things, mostly when Amber is is not involved in there to cause me pain with the sense of impending doom on their relationship. It's like it. You know what else hurts me about him? And I've been listening to things for too long, but a couple of things hurt me about him. It's seeing her and knowing that it's not supposed to be forever. It's seeing her and knowing that they're gonna use this relationship to prove a point that the human side does not totally work out. The non-heroic side does not work out. This was some very cool tunes going on here indeed, I may say. I do say. There's she's saying, have you ever seen an albino mom? Now you know albino, translucent, you know what you gotta do. So Hollow Knight soundtrack is upon us. It partially hurts because they had so many shippable moments, Mark and Amber. They had the little firsts where I'm like saying this is some cute, this is some adorable, this is I'm gonna wrap my teeth and I'm gonna be shipping, I'm gonna be rooting for him even if it hurts a little bit. But then every little ounce of foreshadowing, the initial attraction to Eve, the bumps in the relationship, and this is just going off season 1 stuff. Every little thing is set up to say, ship them if you want. Oh, we're gonna rip this out from under you. And but like to say other things about Invincible because like there's still other things to say. I am appreciating how Mark's dad fucked a bug. I'm appreciating that. The age gap, I can't even begin to comprehend the age gap. It's not for me to comprehend. But it is interesting that they set up that perfect parallel to illustrate how a Viltrumite sees human society, sees them as short-lived as a bug. And then there's... Okay, reading things, what did I miss? Hijinks Arcade saying, yeah, I mean, she was lovely, and deserves better than Mark anyway, but yeah, he did give up on a black woman and an Asian woman for a white woman, which felt weird to me. Another redhead. Another redhead happening in Severance 2. Another redhead happening in Severance 2. Oh my god, it never ends. Alright, Kai saying, use my magic powers to make all black girlfriends non-disposable. Endgame moments. You're talking about how May isn't even a disposable girlfriend, and yet the fandom treats her horribly. Oh dear. Oh my god. Wait, okay. I read that as May, but we're talking about Mel Arcane. Dang. Hello, Dan. Up in the shuffle for us. There's traditional music's happening, much appreciation happening. I'm keeping every single one of these tabs open so I can add them to the stream tune playlist. There's Zermakiva saying, Jarl being prophetic, my mom's name sounds like albino, and we don't talk that often. Is she leaving me? Am I Caucasian? Just so many questions. Hey, more to find out. Is it a little bit of a death sentence to be a main character? Alright. All types of chatting about has happened. What kind of coloration did I want to have? I know that I'm having sort of a dark pink and sort of a light pink. And then I think I want to align these colors. Something like that. I want these characters to go, colors. I want these colors to go with each other. I've mapped out a pose. I don't think I'm going to be finishing anything that looks good by the time this stream has ended. But it's been good to get a start on this, honestly. It's been insightful. It's been interesting. I'm going for tones. Can I color match my skin as I'm wearing it? And other things that people say about their skin when it's not removable. Dan anime happening soon. It's the month after this month, huh? And there's comedy relief secondary characters happening, and things already looking good. I'm so capable of messing up things messing up things when I add some color. So hopefully, hopefully, I could just say thanks for the leap of faith. There's thinking about anime instead of June. Can I color match my skin as I'm wearing it? Nerd Burp returns. We get into some serious Sam, but for this serious Sam, we shall indeed pause a Parasite Eve. Well, that was sort of a messy transition in between songs, but I feel like it works. Hello, atmosphericness. Hello. What happens indeed? There's two quotes, one stream. So I'm gonna keep it saying, what if it's a story about a comic relief becoming a main character? What if it's a spin-off? So please take care. Huh. Then if you wanted to go into a very meta sense of things, would you? Okay, this is kind of looking skin tone-ish. This looks like my skin tone kind of, I don't know, it looked like my arm as I was holding my arm right up next to the, but then my arm has a shadow on it, so what am I doing? What was I saying? If you wanted to go a meta sense with your story, then maybe you could have someone realize their role as a comic relief main character, and then perform dark rituals to put someone else into the role of comic relief main character. Blood rituals. Did you link Gilgamesh again? Maybe. Yeah, this is two Gilgameshes. I can double appreciate a Gilgamesh. I can Gilg, I can a mesh. I can both of these. And okay. Meant to link this one, huh? Alright, very good. Don't you have your skin tone in your screen with the camera? Alright, I guess I do also wonder how it turns out when I'm not eyeballing under subjective conditions. Call your translucent mom. Don't cross roads. Don't dump your girlfriend. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. God, for a second I thought the hand was a machine gun. YouTube is a sick reference. Alright, it's loading up for us. And it's closing down for us. Oh, I see why that's called a Grand Cathedral, and from the same one. This is his shiny face. His shiny face. This is serious Sam. This is the most serious of Sam, who is foreshadowed to be a little silly. Okay, so my skin tone is on the screen. Some of it is in extremely direct lighting. Some of it is in extremely direct sunlighting. So if I just capture this really quick, how does this look as I start to figure out what it is I'm made of? Gosh, saying ordered another commission, someone stop you. As artists, if we stop you from supporting other artists, what happens then? It all crumbles, Kai. Everything crumbles from there. This is epic. This is epic. I'm surprised that I don't hear this in the background of, I don't know, more things, because I feel like it could be double appreciated. Appreciated for more things. Slick is claiming that your mom is conjoined to you. You have a private jet with no roads. You don't have a girlfriend, and you keep getting conjoined before you start dating. So you guess you're safe. Safe from the tropes. Safe from the tropes. I hesitate to put you at a role in a story because none of it quite feels enough. I left for 2 seconds. What's up? I left for 2 seconds. What are we doing? What are we doing? Are you... Sickage to Goon. Goon. Oh my god. What do I say? Okay, so here's the cartoonish sort of eyeballing it color that I started out with as I try to figure out what I got for colors. And then I'm gray. I'm straight up gray. Wow, you can click and drag this? I'm straight up gray? God. I'm gray and I'm French? This is a travesty of all time. Alright. Okay, that's... I'm blue like the sky? I'm blue like the sky. Color picked directly from my no, come on. Something. It gives me a hint out here. Doja Cat mix of Say So. I like this song. Alright. And I think it doesn't always get the strike, but I can mute or cut things out if they are found not to be permissible. Sam I am upon. You're talking about What If Beach episode. All your episodes are beach episodes. Are you in the sand? You in the sand right now? I would kind of be inclined to put this particular song because I like it, to put it in the regular stream playlist. But I think I've forgotten to ask about such things. Wow, I'm having zero pigmentation. The parts that look a little bit like reddish. This is the coloration I would choose if I were cruising for a bruising. The Sam I am upon game startup for very silliness. I'm excellent. There's grabbing a book and touch your conjoined hands gently in beach episodes. There's love. Okay, let love bloom like random hair on a shallow skin tone reference. I don't even know. They're saying you are indeed in the sand with a bikini and purposeful but subtle booty shorts. Have I ever seen subtle booty shorts? Am I becoming French right now? Things that I ask myself. I mean, I did get to taste something that feels like it was American because it was filled with cheese. I got to taste like a croissant full of Gruyere cheese. None of that is pronounced Frenchly. My citizenship has just been revoked and I just got it, my god. Alright, what else have I got here? Just a lot going on. A lot of gray. Okay. Then why do my eyes deceive me? Why do my eyes deceive me? There's Hijinks Arcade with some quotes. Man, these guys have seriously lost their heads upon defeating many headless kamikaze. There's puns. Ow. There's puns to expect in Serious Sam. Oh my gosh. Sam being silly. Guys saying shadow streams are episodes of an anime, but we haven't yet had our beach episode. I consider sometimes. I did get the footage of eating the balut on a beach. That was happening on a beach, but is it a beach episode? Are there more requirements to getting a beach episode? Okay. Does this depend on what camera I'm using also? Let's take a picture of my arm. I'm uploading this to the... What are you doing? Uploading this to the Discord so I can be looking at it. My life is involving my arm because I just wanna prove to myself for a second that although shades of gray are happening, I did see my arm. And it was regular. Hijinks Arcade saying my personal favorite line being, "Damn, it's cold, my nipples are like pencil erasers." Serious Sam. I can see why he might be a slightly sillier Sam. A slightly, increasingly sillier Sam. No. This has been a couple of selections of tunes. We've seen one, we've seen the other. I click back on this one so that I can remember to have this tab loaded up. Okay, Does my arm have anything else for me to work with? God, what was that? Does my arm have anything else for me to work with? Not to get too obsessed over here, but I'm turning French 2 times over. A 2 times over French champion, and I swear that I'm seeing some type of pigmentation in my arm. I'm not a vampire. Something happens here. And then there's French shadow appeared on the live stream. This arm texture. The graphics of this game are getting fancier. We are, in fact, getting a little fancied up. I feel like I still don't know. And is this a little bit more skin tone? Yeah, that's more saturated than what this camera is able to pick up, and that's what I'm after. Just a little bit of saturation. There's saying how long I've been doing art for. Your drawings are amazing. Well, thank you. Thanks for the bit of faith. I think I started trying to properly practice in 2018, and then had some art classes in between there where they basically just tell you to try and draw all the light and dark of something so that you can start seeing how something would be if it were 3D, but like figuring out 3D-ness for yourself. That's basically that's the center of what was happening in those art classes. But yeah, started trying to do so in 2018. I thought I would be better by now, but it's good to hear that there has been some progress. Actually, you're saying I was doing art in the womb with special art technology? That's how I kind of feel when I hear people saying that they've been doing art for their whole life. Cause here I go, having not been serious for a minute. Okay, and then I feel like I did not decide what I want the head to be made of. So if I do anything in this last 9 minutes of the stream, I'm gonna figure out what the head is supposed to look like, and then we might sample some actual metal songs with lyrics. Well, for a lot of these, honestly, I have not known what gets copyright business on it. Whether this is the only copy, the current copy of the stream that you're seeing that can ever exist, I have not completely been knowing this stuff. Includes pay promotion. Okay, rock out. Okay, rock out. Okay, rock out. Cool. They're saying, has anyone seen Hegpie? I got to see Hegpie for 2 seconds on that, on the last Disco Elysium. Get rocked. Get rocked incredibly. There you go. Okay, art style references. It honestly intimidates me to think of how do they get the voice? How do they get the voice to do this? It's one way that I've drawn a head before. There's a couple of different ways indeed. Okay, but let's put that kind of wide. Alright, that's the proportions that I would go for. And there's a type of eyes to go for it too. Erase the guidelines. Sheesh. They got the backing vocals in this. They are serious in this metal song. Super serious. Alright, a little bit of eyes happening. And then a little bit of nose can happen, such as this. And some of this. Some very sweetie-eyed little drawings for listening to a metal song such as this. Alright, so I have liked this art style-ish kind of thing. Draw like this. I have liked that. But is it what I'm going for? What I'm going for? There. Get rocked is the quote for when you punch something, and this song has been stuck in your head. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. The high quality metal A vocal version indeed. It's talking about Hegpie is busy working in Didneth Studios all on his own. What's your political stance on Stephen the Poison? Good. my, my current stance is that I don't know who it is. Okay, if I look it up, then do I have to have an opinion on it? We're having a Steve. We're having a the. There's also a P. Okay. But I said poison and it's poisson, like French word for fish, isn't it? For fish, isn't it? Okay. Well, I mean, I don't. I can't detect a political stance or the relevance of a political stance. But the first image on the Google image is like some kind of it's standing over me, sort of in a power stance kind of a thing. And that's it's significant. It's significant. There's fish happening. First encounters happening. There's like he's saying, does anyone remember the 1983 classic arcade game Uncle Pooh anymore? Do kids still play it? That's a great question. Do they? I got no idea. What else do I want for mouth reasons? I like when teeth are drawn. I like when teeth are drawn. Can I draw some teeth? It might not even be relevant, but if I can draw some teeth, it really improves my day. Really improves my day when you get those chompers out. Alright, a little bit of eyelashes if we want in a style. This is a cute fish. What did he do? If you're saying political, what did the fish do? My serious question to you, what fish crimes is the fish accused of? Get a little teeth over here. Get a... what type of ear would I go for? Something I debate constantly. What type of ear would I go for? Well, that's not how it's supposed to be. It goes outward a little bit, and then you can have a hairline starting like this, going like there, going like this. Most important parts of a thing. So a head can look like that. This round business seems like it was going more in this direction. If we're going for styles, here's your round head, and maybe it goes in some thick funny eyelashes like this, some significant eyebrows, and then there's what else do I want for math reasons? Okay, that one I didn't even catch. That one, out of all the quotes happening, being slug around right here, I didn't even catch that one. My goodness, I made so much more progress on the sands, which eventually ended up, God, how do we see? Made so much progress on the sands. There's some cool and lovely arts happening around. And a Sansible. There's some... I didn't finish it on the last stream, but I got that far on the sands. Just ended the stream to specifically lock in, and I'm not getting anywhere near as far on this stream either. Alright, so what are we having? Some eyeballs. I do like the expressiveness. And then we're having basically the same amount of headspace, I guess. The same amount of headspace is happening. And put a little bit of lines on the eye. That's how you can tell there's an eyeball. And then there's ball happening. Internet friends happening. There's Hijinks Arcade saying, big fan of that song personally, especially with the context that Sam 3 is a prequel that ends with the Earth being destroyed and Sam going back in time to start Sam 1. Oh, that's a funny thing I hadn't thought about, where time travel is inherently a part of everything. I hadn't thought about how a paradox could be built into... It could be built into the sequels if they wanted to. Alright, let's cover a little bit of the chin. That makes sense to me. Although I'm probably going to mimic hanging onto the loft bed behind me to really figure out this pose in a little bit. Alright, so there's this going on with enormous eyes. We've listened to 4 songs, I believe. I've got 4 tabs open, so it better be 4 songs. 4 songs going on here. Much appreciated. Ziggy saying some long live Dr. Did with some meow. Hi. Hey, hello, hola, oh, guten tag, hello, konnichiwa, bonjour. I say bonjour right as I was turning French, haven't I? There's reference heads that remind you of Lin-Manuel Miranda. Wait, like this? Or like this? One of these is Lin-Manuel Miranding? Ah, the terrors. Everywhere I go, I see his face. And there's... It's like, on the one hand, so fun to be a Hamilton fan. It's just so fun to belt a song at the top of your lungs, at the top of your everything. At the same time, he really was showing up everywhere for a second. Alright. And then what would I want for hair? A little bit goes over here, and then some of it was in fact hanging in the middle of my forehead sometimes, if I wanted to pretend for artist avatar purposes that I'm having the maximum amount of stylishness. You could pretend you have the maximum amount of stylishness by flipping your hair all around or something like that. And then there's Hydrogen saying Sam 3 is called BFE, before first encounter, and then there's Sam first encounter and second encounter. They've really gone in fun directions, haven't they? You're saying that the chorus, as we fall, the spirit carries on, and the hero will come and save us all. As we'll call the ones we left below, we'll dream of the day we rise above. It sounds as though, despite the eraser nipples comments, it sounds as though they've brought some real, fun stakes to the most comedic. There's something saying, it's so sad chat isn't aware of the secrecy of the ultra-secret chat. They miss so many well-crafted subject jokes, so much lore and funny moments. And as somebody in the so-called ultra-secret chat wherein I'm locking into a drawing and finishing it, although this one specifically, I feel like I'm not gonna finish it today, so the ultra-secret chat wherein there's a magma, I don't think I shall. I don't think I shall finish this today. I think I shall even drag it into another art program and figure it out there. If there were any crimes I committed in this ultra secret chat, they are now off public record. And what can I say except nice? It's swag, cool, awesome. There's Hijinks Arcade saying, I was also thinking that I would start making the next Smasher Pass tier list. Awesome. Marvelous. I agree completely. I can't help but think that the next one I should see part of something of that I should continue doing, probably Disco Elysium, since I'm coming to the end of the game, ? That is probably that. Alright, so here's one little canvas tour of everything that's happened, and because here we are at the 2 hours and 2 minutes mark, figuring out the question when I question head. So head? So is there head? I try to figure out what it looks like. I've done styles, and yet they are not telling me much. They're not telling me what's different from each of them. I can pull at the skin of the face a little bit. I can adjust the proportions. I can try more than one self-portrait until I figure out what a style is going on, and put that series on pause as well. But I don't know that I've figured very much out. Okay, guys, talking about stream ending soon, and we shall all spawn again next week. Then talking about serious stakes despite the silliness. I like that. That's some of the best contrast has been in shows that do such a thing. And I suppose there's no reason why that can't apply to games too. So you're saying your new crime is safe in the now forgotten and automatically deleted ultra secret chat. No one will know, there's no evidence, so I can't sue you. That was really specific for a reassurance. A little bit of the jinx on the so head. Head indeed, the head is ahead of the game. The message format got ruined. I hope I didn't run directly into it. Let's appreciate a little bit of the arts. Some of this. Do I want to put I don't know, any other exclusive business on it? Do I want to put there's this talk of a bow, and all the other things are are in black and white, but only a bow, if you place it on there, really fuzzy for some reason, is in color. And then there's Hijinks Arcade saying gotta add Ruby and the Mercs to it. I hadn't thought about that. I hadn't thought about the... Ooh. Honestly, now, yeah, the encounter with the mercenaries was so utterly, sickeningly anxious in a complimentary, wow, this game is well made sort of way. Ooh, now there's an emotional reaction that can guide my decisions in this sea of things. So, 2 more characters once I finish the game. My gosh, there's like 2 hours left in it or something. Appreciating this little Roblox individual. I do love a character with a bandana tied about that neck. It's somehow incredibly adorable. There's a hat business. You're suing everyone. It's a free country. And thank you guys very much for being around. I shall see you next time. And this was some very cool artist self-portrait starter pack meme sort of thing.